understood that we were to receive a videotape from Terry Funk from Texas. Suddenly, I have both Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk with me. Nonetheless, gentlemen, I cannot interrupt our format, so we're going to take a look at this tape that came from you from Amarillo. And I would like to say that Championship Wrestling is not responsible, nor is Channel 17, for the actions or the comments of this man. Let's go to Amarillo.
You know, mental preparation. That's what's important in the world today, is mental preparation. And whenever I want to get right mentally, what do? I come to the Amarillo dump. The Amarillo dump reminds me of Atlanta, Georgia. And I go ahead and I get a lot of satisfaction out of shooting a few rats that are running around. And speaking of rats, I understand that Dusty Rhodes is trying to file on me for attacking him with a deadly weapon. Well, this is not the deadly weapon I attacked him with. The deadly weapon I used on Dusty Rhodes is my mouth. And I can destroy him because the truth destroys everyone whenever it is the truth. And what I say about him being an egg-sucking dog is the absolute truth. Speaking of a few rats, how about Jack and Jerry Briscoe? Anytime you put a Texan against an Oklahoman, there's extreme hatred from the Oklahoma side because they can't stand it, because fellas like Junior and I are Texans, and we are superior to those silly, stupid Okies.
Well, all right, now, what I'm confused about and curious about is why are you two here?
Why am I here and Junior here? I'll tell you why. But first of all, where is Dusty Rhodes? Where's he? Does he have another film clip of himself? Or is he going to send another telegram up here? Let's face the facts. We ran him out of Georgia. He doesn't have enough guts to come back within the state. And besides that, we sent him to Wheeling. We sent him to Wheeling, and that's not West Virginia either. We sent him to Wheeling dirt and garbage where he should be because he never was a wrestler.
Really, I don't think we need to pursue this. We have a television program. We have matches upcoming. I've got Jack and Jerry Briscoe going against Taro Tanaka and Killer Khan.
That is the biggest surprise. A bunch of surprises on Georgia Wrestling today because my brother and I bought Jack and not Jack and Jerry's, of course not. We bought the two Orientals contract, Khan and Tanaka. That's right, Junior. We bought their contract. Now we're going to prove to the people who is the #1 in the United States right here on national television. Bring on the Briscoes.
You do have, well... All right.
Bring them on.
All right, gentlemen.
We've got the contract. My brother Terry eliminated Dusty Rhodes. We're after the Briscoes now. We're going to show who's the #1 family in professional wrestling. Let's go, Terry.
All right, gentlemen, there you have it. So, certainly another amazing turn of events here. Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. having bought the contracts of Taro Tanaka and Killer Khan. That means that all we're waiting for now is for Jack and Jerry Briscoe to appear in the ring. So we'll be waiting for that. Let's turn it to the ring. All right. The Funk brothers in there. They're in there waiting now for the Briscoe. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wahoo McDaniel and Dusty Rhodes! Wahoo McDaniel and Dusty Rhodes just charged the ring in their street clothes. Wahoo McDaniel and Dusty Rhodes pounding away at Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. And it is Dusty Rhodes after ripping that shirt off of Terry Funk and Terry Funk. Wahoo McDaniel's catching Dory Funk. And what a wild, wild scene we have here now. Complete chaos and bedlam as Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and see Wahoo McDaniel are absolutely annihilating Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. And it is... When you talk about the sudden amazing surprises, Dory Funk Jr. hurdled over that top rope. Terry Funk hurdled out. And we're trying to get this ring area cleared at this time. Trying to get things straightened out and cleared away. And we'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, I'm ready for Rhodes on my right, Wahoo McDaniel's on my left.
Terry Funk said, "Where's Dusty Rhodes? All these weeks, where's Dusty Rhodes? Where's the American Dream? I'm going to cut and dry this damn thing right now." It's just as simple as this. Wahoo McDaniel come all the way from Harlingen, Texas last night. All the way from Harlingen to be with Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, worldwide, nationwide. And Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr., you talk about dumps. You talk about egg-sucking dogs. Well, sucker, what happened there, baby? That's what it's all about. This man and me are brothers. We're brothers, baby. That's what it's all about.
And it's pretty obvious, too, that you took the Briscoes' place here today and cleared the ring in very, very, very short order indeed. There's no question about it, but I understand tomorrow night.
That's right. You know, we bought up her contract. I don't know what it costs because I leave all my high financing to this man. He wants to have his picture taken in a dump. Well, I'll tell you one thing. This man and I are familiar with that dump. We know right where it is. And I tell you, it will be very easy tomorrow night for him and I to put Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk right back in that dump in Kenyon, Texas. You know, it's a shame that it's come down to this. Talking about one of the beautifulest cities in the world. Right here, Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta Army. Tomorrow night, me and Wahoo McDaniel against the Funks. And I can guarantee you this, Terry Funk, I'm going for your arm, Daddy. I'm going for your arm. Me and Wahoo McDaniels are brothers to all. We are all family, and tomorrow night in the Army, all of our family will be there. Well, get ready, you'll only have one arm when you come out of that match, and that is a promise. Right.
See you tomorrow night. Brisk, but by the same token, apparently you wanted the money.
Let me just listen. $5 grand to me ain't nothing, darling. I'll drop $5 grand in 2 seconds on the blackjack table in Las Vegas. Money ain't nothing. Austin Idol has one of the greatest memories of all time, and I remember you, punk Rich. I remember exactly what happened here about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and you know what I'm talking about. But the main thing that I do want to talk about is what I got in my hand right here. I said before, there was bigger fish to be fried, and now I've fried the big fish. I'm now the #1 contender. I should have been on the lineup for that world's title match. That should have been me and Harley Race, not Tommy Rich.
That's the kind of person you are, $5,000.
Makes no difference, nevertheless. Kevin Sullivan, this thing ain't over between you and me. You're a maniac, but let me lay something on you. I am possessed too. The devil lives within me. And with this belt, and with 8 men surrounding a ring with belts, I'm going to take this strap. I'm going to snatch a strap from one of those lumberjacks, and I'm going to beat you on your back until I see the flesh on your back spread open, and I see the word, I will be your slave. I want to hear Kevin Sullivan, the maniac, say it. I will be your slave, Austin Idol, and you will be my slave.
Sure you of that. And our time is completely begone until the next hour of Georgia Championship Wrestling. Gordon Soley saying so long.
Very basic wrestling. One hold, 6 or 7 minutes, grind on it, grind on it, grind on it, you win the match, right? That's the name of wrestling world over, and that's the name of tag team wrestling, and we do it better than anybody in the world.
You know, the Russians have been pushing a lot of people around for a long time. Specifically, the Russians have been pushing the Americans a little bit. The Iranians got a few of our people held up over there, and it's about time, like I said before, that we fight back. Well, yesterday something happened that hasn't happened for any time. The Americans beat the Russians in hockey and got a gold medal. Well, we got a red shoe, and that red shoe belongs to one of them Russians, too. In the not too distant future. Very soon, we're going to have a little negotiating team of our own. You know, they're talking about them hostages. They're going to talk about it come April. They're going to decide what they're going to do.
Well, tomorrow
I'll tell you what, tomorrow night, Tomorrow in the Omni at 7:30, we're going down against them Russians. We don't have a gold medal, but we got a red shoe. And I'll tell you, when April comes, those Russians are still going to be in the hospital. Koloff and Smirnoff, you come on down there, because this is one time that we, the American people, and particularly these people here in Atlanta, are going to get a chance to fight back. And we're going to do a hell of a job in that Texas Tornado match. Anything.
The next time you bad rap an American or an American wrestler, you're going to remember one thing. The Texas Tornado match you had with us.
The Anderson brothers, the Omni. Harley Race, the man who has regained that title on 4 separate occasions, which has really made him a legend in his own time. But Mr. Race, after what we saw happen earlier, may I just say that I still hold a great deal of respect for that title, for the World Championship. But I must honestly say, sir, I feel very disappointed in you and what you appear to be doing.
Let me tell you, Gordon, along with these people out here, after all the time that I have devoted to wrestling, I have made wrestling what wrestling is today around the world. I don't particularly care what you think or what anyone else on the face of the earth thinks, as long as I get done what needs to be done. And Tommy Rich needed to be taught a lesson. You don't go around in the world of wrestling trying to run roughshod over everybody. He needed to be taught a lesson, and he was taught. It was a rather expensive lesson, but he got taught.
Well, Mr. Race,
I'd like,
go ahead in it.
I'd like to cue that film and show it myself. I want to have it shown because justice was served one time. Finally, one time in wrestling, justice was served.
Let's go back then and take a look at that situation as it existed. Austin Idol and Tommy Rich for the National Television Championship. The television champion, Austin Idol.
Darling, you know, let's say it like it is right here. I am the national heavyweight television champion, and everything that goes on, not only in this area, but the whole area and around the entire world, surrounds Austin Idol. I am the nucleus. I am the kingpin. I am what's happening. I'm the greatest all-around athlete of all time. But the one thing I want to make a point here, one thing I want to make crystal clear, is there are some people that need to be whipped. Whipped like dogs. Whipped because their fathers wouldn't give them. And Tommy Rich, it really surprises me. I really sincerely believe that this man has bit off more than he can chew. This guy's got a world title match coming up, and here he's got a match with a heartthrob. Rich has definitely bit off more than he can chew, and I'll prove it.
All right, let's go to the ring and to our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a title match for the International Television Championship. One fall with TV time remaining. Introducing first the challenger from...
It is pound of flesh. There's no question about this. And that certainly, I think, sir, is a complete indictment.
Don't tell me about your indictments. How many people run in the ring and jumped on me? Let me tell you something, Gordon, and let me tell you something, wrestling, too. That one there cost me some bread. You're mine, buddy, you're mine. It ain't gonna cost me a dime. I'm coming for you to do it all by myself. I become world's heavyweight champion by winning, and winning is what I am going to do. I'm going to eliminate you and do it on my own.
Well, tomorrow night at the Omni in Atlanta, sir, you'll have that
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You think I've been standing here wasting my time? The Omni is where it's going to happen. The Omni is where Harley Race is coming to life. Harley Race is going to eliminate wrestling, too, forever, buddy.
George, doing what you did.
Well, Gordon, you know, in spite of all what's has happened here today, you know, I want to back up just a little bit and give you a little, fill you in a little bit of what Tommy Rich has really been doing in the last few weeks. How hard he's been training and trying to get himself in condition, not only spiritually but mentally, and really trying to get himself down because he knew he had this big match ahead of himself. You know, I heard Harley Race say that he needed a lesson. Also, he was a threat. He wasn't a threat to anybody. All he wanted was an opportunity and a chance to take that title. And you had some geek, some low-down, funky, no-good, nothing to pull in something like you did. All I can say is Harley Race has gone lower than a snake that crawls on the ground. And Harley, it's going to happen, pal. Yes, the Omni. Well, I tell you what, Harley Race, you won't have to look for wrestling too, because I'll be hunting you from the time that I step into that ring. I told you once, I'm going to tell you again. This match is going to go to a very good friend of mine. I'm coming after you. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take that title from you, and there's nothing you can do about it, Harley Race. You get all your stuff together because I've got mine, and I'm coming after you. Tommy Rich, it's all for you, pal.
There you have it, the comments from Mr. Wrestling number 2. I want to take a moment right now to talk to Stardust, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and his sidekick and partner, Wahoo McDaniel. And Dusty, I guess more than one way to buy a contract.
God and solely the eyes of the wrestling world are on this thing right now. Every major city in the universe is on this thing right now. Wahoo McDaniel, Dusty Rhodes together flew in all the way from Texas, come all the way in for this thing. And the two yellow dogs, Dory Funk Jr., if your daddy was alive, he'd whip your honey, boy. And Terry Funk, the Texas death match that was never over and will never be over. Me and Wahoo McDaniel, we want to show you right now just how, when they was wanting it so bad, we gave it to them right here. And we're going to show that tape and show them getting their little honey patted right here in this ring right here.
Let's take a look at that match.
Wahoo McDaniel and Dusty Rhodes just charged the ring in their street clothes. Wahoo McDaniel and Dusty Rhodes